Welcome to episode 23 of the Action Takers podcast. I'm your co-host, Nate. We got JC here with us as always. How you doing, JC?
It's about drive. It's about power. We stay hungry. We devour. Put in the work, put in the hours, and take what's ours.
It's dude, I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. It's been a long couple days. Physical labor is not one of my, like, I like doing it, but at the same time, it just, when shit goes wrong when you're doing physical labor, it just takes twice as long. Fuck, I had a weed eater today, literally like catch on fire, and I was like, oh shit, let's not burn down the house with the old weed eater. So it's been an interesting day, to say the least. How about you?
I mean, mine hasn't been that exciting, but it's been good. Went on a little cabin trip for a few days, so got out of the city in the old mountains and enjoyed that. Except there was a fire nearby in Yosemite, so it's kind of smoky most of the time. So that wasn't too fun, but it was just nice to get away, go to the lake, and just relax for a little bit.
Well, where did you went to Yosemite, right? Is that what you just said?
Right before Yosemite, like Groveland. It's called Groveland. So, it's a few miles, or decent amount, before Yosemite, kind of lower on the hill there. But yeah, still real close. So it was enough where all the smoke, because there's a huge fire going on in Yosemite, where it's coming over and making it all smoky over there.
I've got an embarrassing. So if you most people in the world, when you talk about like California and stuff, they're like, oh, have you been to Yosemite? And I lived in California for 33 years of my life, and I'd never been. Like I'd been to a high school football game like once, but we'd never ventured out at all. Was there bears? Was there fucking nature? Did you do some crazy, cliff hike or mountain climbing? Anything fun like that? Or
I
did
do
some
a
fishing
nice
and drinking beer?
No, I went on a nice hike to a waterfall, waterfall and little, water area to swim in. And saw some nature. I didn't see any bears, a few deer here and there. But it was in the freaking mountains, It's funny, like all those areas pretty much, from Amador, all that way, they all remind me of Amador County, right? It's freaking windy ass roads, 2-lane roads, hella trees, freaking just the stuff where it's like, it's cool if you to visit, but places I wouldn't want to live and deal with it day in and day out.
One of my family members went to Alaska, and they're like, yeah, it's like driving through a forest. Like, it wasn't fucking special. Like, we flew 4,000 miles to get up here and froze our ass off, but it was pretty much just a forest, just pine trees and fucking cedar trees, and it just, kind of funny. It's entertaining, the things that we do, that we make up. So vacation you plan, you've got it kind of preset in your head, and you're like, fuck, we're gonna do this, it's gonna be amazing. And you get there and you're like, this is a hell of a sales pitch. We're gonna do exercise, or we're gonna go hike to a waterfall. Like, every time I do it, it's amazing, but the end of it, I'm like, it was cool, but it wasn't worth the Instagram photo.
Definitely. I think is worth, like you said, it got a little exercise in, cool, nice few waterfalls, but it's just one of those things that me personally, I'd rather, be at home, doing my thing, but it's still fun.
No. You gotta tell the listeners and viewers what you're actually talking about. What you told me was, I would rather be working than on vacation, and it's dude, I'm the same way. I'm very guilty of it. We'll fly out of the country, and we'll go somewhere. We'll drive somewhere, and I'm just I can't stop. I can't turn it off. Like, I can relax for a couple days, and then after that, I'm like, I gotta start doing something. I gotta start working or trying making money somehow. I gotta figure out a hustle. Are we moving here? Like, there's just too many options. So it's I'm with you on that one. What else is going on in this crazy world, dude? As I look at the headlines and the fucking YouTube videos that are being produced, it's just Yeah, it's like fucking World War III. Like it's just a fucking crazy world out there. And I was thinking back to like 2008, and like we already lived through like one recession, but we were fucking poor, so it didn't matter. This one's like I'm kind of scared, kind of nervous.
It's, it's crazy. And talk about headlines and stuff. We all know that we're in a recession, yet the White House is redefining what recession means, and all those things. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's just it's a I don't know what the term you want to call it right now, but it is a crazy world with everything that's going on, and what and yeah, during that time it was different times, right? And you didn't have a bunch of stuff. Uh, I think at the time in 2007, 2008, I was 18, 19 years old. So, just getting out of freaking high school, just starting college, and, starting, I think I was working at Costco probably at the time. Yeah, I started at Costco. So it's like, you're just kind of doing your thing. It's whatever. I didn't know much about it because it didn't affect me that much. Right.
Well,
But now, yeah, like it at a different point in your life, it affects you a lot more than it did, 10 years ago or 13 years ago, whenever it was.
I think I can't remember who said it, but they brought up a good point where it was like, yeah, 2008, 2009, 2010, it was bad. Like it sucked. It was horrible, but we didn't have social media. Social media is just going to highlight all this fancy shit you bought in the last 3 years with your fucking Bitcoin and your fucking Ethereum and your fucking milk chips or whatever the hell you were cashing in on. That shit's gonna go away, and then all of a sudden you're gonna be poor on Instagram, and then how are you gonna fake flex? You know what I mean? It's just are we buying fake Rolexes now or what? It just, dude, I think it's gonna hit. I think it's gonna hit this nation or hit this world way harder than it did back then.
Well, yeah, and just that. I mean, that's a good point, right? The social media aspect of it. I mean, social media has just changed things in the past. Really, what, 5 years? I mean, TikTok's only been around for a couple of years. Snapchat a little bit longer than that. Instagram has been around, longer. Facebook the longest, but it's so yeah, everything's on there now. Like you're saying, people can't flex like they can, and there's just more information about everything that's going on. Um, and yeah, it's just crazy. Yeah, the times have changed. There's so much more going on. It seems like than the first or the last one that occurred. So, but yeah, it's interesting. What's going on out there. Freaking gas has gone down a little bit. I guess, which is slightly. We're talking about maybe 30 cents, um, but everything else though still seems to be crazy expensive. Yeah, even going to the grocery store. That's always what surprises me. When you're like that same package of chicken or whatever it was is twice as much or three times as much as it was even a short few months ago. That's kind of the crazier thing.
Well, it's gonna get to a point where you bring up the chicken topic. It's gonna get to a point where people are gonna be buying chickens, and I don't mean that are already killed. Like you're gonna be seeing some fucking homesteading here shortly. It's they're gonna be fucking murdering goats and stuff. I hope it doesn't get that bad. I'm trying to stay positive about it. I'm trying to look kind of at the horizon and seeing what is it really going to turn out like. If this is if it's going to get worse, it's going to get worse. Like I always just trying to eliminate my risk tolerance when it comes to these types of situations. Like back in 2008, 2009, like I didn't have any risk. Well, I had a ton of risk because it's fucking I didn't have any money. Like you can't take anything if I don't own anything. You know what I mean? Like, what, are you gonna evict me? Like, okay, I'll figure it out. But then you think now, and it's like the way that we kind of prepare and the way I just quit spending money, which is fucking I didn't spend a lot of money before, but I'm trying to like eliminate any burden that some creditor or a fucking credit card or a fucking something dumb like should I go out and buy the $18,000 fucking Suzuki Gixxer 750? Probably not. You know what I mean? Like let's wait a year or two and get it fucking used at a discount.
Yeah, and he's saying things aren't looking to get better, and the country is still freaking giving away billions of dollars to these other countries. So yeah, it's not it's not going to be getting any better anytime soon. I mean, the more money they're printing, the worse it's going to get. That's the crazier thing is like, man, they're giving away these billions of dollars. Like, why are we investing that money into our roads, to our school system, into our country? Like, why are we giving it away to Ukraine or freaking? I saw they gave a bunch of money to Iran now. So it's like, why don't we keep some of that money for ourselves? You know, it's our tax dollars. Let's spend it here in America so we can turn the economy around, get things going better instead of just giving it away.
Well, you gotta look at the old man in the old executive office there. He it just, I don't know. It's so, and I hate to say it, but it's based on political party. I mean, the one thing that, I guess is good about this administration is they're a bunch of givers. Fuck, they want to give everyone something. Holy shit, they want to cut you a check and fucking print some more money. And you could move to Ukraine right now and get a free ride home if you wanted to. Like, they're willing to like let out like axe murderers who are fucking assassins to negotiate with Russia, with a WNBA player who knowingly broke the law. And you're like, we're gonna give up this murderer who harmed a bunch of people for a weed smoker? What are we doing? Like, that's not the battle we need to be fighting. Like, if you're gonna fight the battle, don't fucking give away someone. Like, go launch a secret attack and fucking break her out of prison or whatever. But it just that's not gonna be a popular take. But it's dude, it just drives me crazy. Like, I can't like, I heard about the news about the Biden administration coming out with a little blog post on a Friday afternoon about how, the recession's not really a recession. And, Wikipedia doesn't know how to define it. And, this is how we define it. And it's just like, you motherfucker, this is a smoke screen. Like, this is just a fucking ploy to get you back into office for another fucking term, which I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm a fucking capitalist. And right now it's costing me a ton of money. I am sick and tired paying fucking 28%. Oh, fuck. But, we'll see. We'll see here in the next couple of years. I can't fucking do anything about it. So why even worry about it? But Nate, I want to run something by you. Because I want to shift. I want to pivot off this topic.
All right.
Just because it's just going to fire me up, and it's going to turn into a fucking negative rant. I'm gonna piss off half our audience. I got to ask you, everyone's looking for attention. You know what I mean? Like, the thing that your business needs and my business needs is attention, right? We just need eyeballs. We need customers, right? So I've got this crazy business idea that I want to run by you. I've got this idea. So there's all of these like content sources out there, right? There's now newsletters about all kinds of shit. And there's different podcasts, there's different, email newsletters, there's physical newsletters. There's, it just seems like everyone's a media outlet now. But the problem is, I noticed that only certain parts of their business it's very hyper focused. Like, for example, like on email, there's this one newsletter that literally puts out a newsletter every single day about crypto. And I was thinking about it. I'm like, is there a business that you could just like hijack their name? I'm sure there's some legal grounds that you'd have to, consult with a lawyer, but you go hijack their name and then you take their product and you turn it into an audio format. And then you build up this catalog of lists and you just send it out there into the fucking world in hopes that it brings attention to them, which you're going to push attention to them, but it is also going to bring up the attention of the actual entity that you're producing the content for. I think it's a hell of a hack to fucking go get a job or find someone to that you can make a fucking difference for. What is your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, that attention is everyone's issue. I just got finished reading 10X Rule by Grant Cardone, and that's one of the, besides taking the massive action, and the whole point of taking the massive action is to, in fact, get more attention, right? Making more phone calls, sending more emails, knocking on more doors. All that is getting you more attention. So every business, that's their goal. I mean, that's how you're going to increase sales, by getting more people to know about you. Obscurity is one of the things you have to overcome, whether it's being an influencer, whether it's a business, no matter what it is, but politician trying to get elected, right? the goal of all these things is to get attention. So yeah, any way to hack a system to get attention for people or businesses, yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of legal stuff with that, but yeah, I mean, if you can help a business get more attention, you will then be valuable, and then they'll pay you or give you some sort of compensation
or sue you
for getting them more attention. Yeah, or sue you, depending on what you want to do.
Copyright infringements,
but
yeah,
in general, if helping or getting people more attention, that's the name of the game with all the social media. I mean, that's what TikTok is all about, right? Is just getting that attention. So there's lots of stuff out there that that people do just for those attention, just for those views, just for those clicks, just for those likes. So whatever it is that you can do to help someone is definitely going to be beneficial. So yeah, I don't know about the legalities of that, but whatever you can come up with though to get people attention is it's legal, is good.
Dude, so another thing that I was thinking about, and there's these little email newsletters. I've subscribed to a bunch of them, but one of them popped up, and it's by a guy named Josh Spector, and it's for the Interested Daily Graph, and all it is like sometimes it's like a sentence. It literally is just, so I'll give you an example. It's just a couple sentences. Struggling to figure out and communicate your niche. I put together, this is a shitty one. Let me get you a different one. So this guy, what am I doing here? Anyways, he sends out this newsletter every single day, and he's got a sponsor on it, but it's just one of those things that, like, it's really intriguing on the way people can share content, and it's so inexpensive. So I'll give you an example of the newsletter. It says, when you see someone do something, you tend to only see the success. You don't see the failures that came before it unless you watch this video. And he there's a fucking YouTube link. It might be the coolest way I've ever seen to visualize the failures that ultimately lead to success. And then he's got a little sentence, like 2 sentences that, this email is sponsored by fucking Bob at coaching2grow.org. I looked up the fucking advertisement space for this email that it's literally a fucking paragraph. There's no pictures. There's just links and words. The dude's charging $2,500 a day to put your little sentence on his fucking newsletter. And I am blown away by this model.
Yeah. I mean, that's freaking businesses. I mean, there's tons of newsletters you get subscribed to. And yeah, I mean, if you can show that you have a huge audience, a huge open rate, I mean, yeah, I mean, there's money in advertising, marketing, everywhere across the board, right? Whether it's newsletters, whether it's sponsored ads, no matter what it is, it's all a part of getting attention. So yeah, Bob's coaching must be doing pretty well. Dude, paying for that.
It just cracked me up, and then at the little. And then like once a week he'll send out an email and says like, hey, if you want to sponsor this, click on this link. And of course I followed it. And anyways, it got me intrigued, and it brought up a question to me of like, what other niche that you could do this in, where you just pump out a short couple sentences every single day and just build kind of that momentum. What are some of the topics, or maybe the niches that you would think this might work?
I mean, it's a lot of people do it, I guess, in a different way. I mean, whether it's vlogs on YouTube or even, Instagram, TikTok, getting on, right? I mean, essentially doing that, creating this content that we do, that's what we're trying to do, build that momentum, whether it's daily or weekly, using this, right? This is a source that we do, how we talked about in a different episode, to get a bunch of content from it to produce and put out there. So I think video audio is probably one of the better ones, right? I mean, there are people that like to, do have some downtime to read, but anything, people are on the social media apps all the time. So I think that's one of the better places to do it. And then obviously podcasts like this. I mean, freaking every single podcast has tons of sponsors on it.
Well, what I was thinking, like, so the reason why this intrigues me the most is because it's an email, and you own the email list, and you own essentially, you don't own necessarily the platform, but you have complete control of whatever you push out. If you push out that same content on social media, you know, and Facebook gets pissed off at you, they're just going to fucking demonetize you and like delete your account. This way, I think, is a pretty unique way that I think everyone should build on. But like, what topics do you think this could work for?
I mean, obviously, the self-improvement, motivation type of stuff works good. I mean, I get Andy Frisella is one, and his is always, that's what his is, you know, motivation stuff. I mean, any type of fitness things could always be good, you know, nutrition, because that's a lot of them that I see are typically fitness and nutrition ones, right? Either, hey, healthy meals, alternatives for foods, for drinks, or healthier alternatives. So yeah, I mean, there's the list, like you said, is endless. I mean, sports, whether it's golf, any type of, you know, whether it's tips or information on to improve your skills. Man, I know, like I said, the list is endless. My stuff would probably be more on that, you know, personal development, motivation, or fitness type stuff, which would be good. And like that, because a lot of them can be short. I mean, you don't have to write, be a page at the most, but it could be a paragraph of something. Hey, instead of, I don't know, doing the exercise like this, you can do this alternate form of exercise, or instead of eating this food, eat this food. You know, there's so many little things you can do, whether it's a paragraph or even a sentence. Throw a picture on there, a couple pictures, and you pretty much got yourself a good newsletter.
Yeah, fucking newsletter business. You're making $2,500 a day with your sponsors. It's gonna be amazing. You're gonna make, I don't even know what is 20. I try not to do public math because I'm always horrible at it. But what's, I mean, say you did it for 20 days a month. I mean, that's $50,000 a month.
Yeah, I mean,
that's not bad. Hell of a business. That's $600,000 a year. Oh my God. And the level of effort, it's not like this guy, all he does is find other people's shit and he puts it in a newsletter. Like, yeah. He didn't create this video. All he did was find the link and fucking shared it with us. And it's really intriguing. Like, I really want to do this business. Like, I tried to do an email newsletter last year. I put out I sent, I think, 150 emails. Like, it totaled to like 100,000 emails to our email list. But I was writing paragraphs. I was a fucking full-blown journalist. And I've never been a fucking journalist before. I have no fucking clue what I was doing. But it came down to it where it was just like overwhelming. I was only doing it 3 days a week, but it was like, I was trying to pump out like the best content over and over and over. I was trying to find all these nuggets and all this like dirt on players and all this other information, and, you know, and format it a certain way. And I think I was going about it the wrong way. I think I needed to fucking simplify it and send out fucking handful of sentences and attach links and videos and shit that aren't even my content.
No, I agree. I think anywhere, you know, you probably want to be in the 30-second to 2-minute read, right? I mean, people, you know, you think about social media, their span is so short. So yeah, very few people will read a full, you know, news article, right? They just want that little nugget of excitement, entertainment, information. So yeah, I definitely think once you get that little niche of, hey, we're going to talk about this, and this is what I'm going to write or find links to, and that's all it is, right? You're just doing the footwork, making it easier on the consumer to, hey, cool, let me just click on this link to this video, or give that information. Yeah, you know, if you got the time to put all that together, I think it is a good business model. It's not a new thing. I mean, you know, mass emails have been freaking since email started, right? And it's one of the
last like 20, 30 years, you know,
going on. So it's more of just, improving it, building that list. I think that's probably the hardest thing. And then showing that it's a valuable, you know, the values there in those people, like I said, showing hey, this is the open rate, this is the read rate, you know, like anything, that's what's going to give you the most return, whether it's advertising or people interested.
How about this concept? Just jot it in my head. I'm gonna give it to the listeners. Okay, someone's gonna take this idea and make millions of dollars with it. So the idea is this: you go get an Amazon affiliate account. Okay. And you sign up for their little affiliate model. And then every single day you send out a newsletter, and attached with the newsletter, you got to create some video content because you got to get some attention, to kick this thing off the ground. But I think you send out a simple email every single day of like the daily deal, like, oh, this is the cool product I fucking found. And all you do is add, fucking Google, Amazon, whatever the hell you want. And then just fucking attach it in the email with your special affiliate link. And then you get some commissions on it also. And then maybe you could get some of these fucking, these products to get sponsored the email. And then you make video content of like, this is what I found today. And it could take you 15 seconds. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I should run with that business. I don't know. There's too many options. My brain is just absolutely flown. If I was on vacation right now, I would ruin my entire family's vacation because I'd be on my laptop just fucking I'd be, buying domains, building the fucking landing page, signing up for email subscription shit,
Yeah, I think that's always a good place to start, right? Building that email list. Which, if you haven't subscribed to our email list, do so, or subscribe to this podcast, like the podcast, share the podcast, leave us a comment, review it. Interact with us in some way. We want to interact with you. And maybe we'll start our Action Takers newsletter. We're doing our weekly podcast. Maybe we'll start a weekly newsletter, get going with that stuff. And I don't know, we'll got to find some people to send it out to.
Dude, we could buy one of those shitty lists, and send out an email newsletter to 100,000 people who paid like $9 for, or some poor Filipino guy who was sitting, in his house, fucking just scraping emails from the fucking World Wide Web. Dude, I think it's a great idea. So you can sign up at the link below, actiontakers.com. I don't know if that's our URL, but that's what our podcast is called. So what other things that we could start? I love starting businesses. It just, the energy, I get all fired up. I spend way too much money on stupid shit I don't need. But at the same time, like, you think about like recessions, like some of the best companies in the world have been created in a recession. Like some of the best, like we're talking about newsletters. One of the newsletters that sold for over $30-some million was started in fucking 2008. Where the dude was just like, I don't have a job. I got nothing to do. Like, I'll just write this email newsletter every day. What else? What else have we got out there?
People are still driving, right? There's where I was going with that. As far as just starting businesses, right? It's a business I think that's kind of really grown in the last year or two, is right, like auto detailers. I'm sure you're talking though more home-based businesses where we don't have to do physical labor.
Or physical labor. Like, I love the physical labor. I started a pressure washing company, and like my biggest problem is fucking attention. Like, no one knows I'm a fucking pressure washer. Everyone knows me as the fucking mailbox guy or the fucking podcaster, but it's about that attention. So, it can be a fucking auto detailing. Like, I think an auto detailing business would be, it would crush right now. Maybe not right now, but if you're the right person and with the right style hustle, I think you could do auto detailing where you don't charge anyone any money. All you do is ask for a tip at the end. I think you could make $150 a car, $100 a car if you did a fucking stellar job.
Yeah, and with that, so I was just thinking, we're talking about, right now, what do people want to do? They want to maximize their money. So, even with the pressure washing, I know it's not a big thing there, but, here in California, everyone has solar panels. They get dirty. That's having them clean. They produce more energy. So that's going to be beneficial to homeowners. So, that business right there, pressure washing, but specifically solar panels, like I said, it's not something big in Georgia, but here in California, it seems like just about everyone has solar panels on their house. You drive down the street, and you could just tell they're dirty. They between fires, between it's windy all the time in places. They need to be washed. So I think that's a business right now where anything where you can help people maximize their money or what they have, I think is a good business. So washing cars helps. Cars last, the exterior lasts longer. So I think anything like that would be good, because that's what everyone wants to do right now, is maximize their dollar, save money, and be more efficient with what they have.
It's dude, it's yeah, no, I agree. It's you know, this is the part of the podcast where I am fucking high into the left. I am in fucking internet world, and Nate's like, let's just like we know this is gonna work. Like like for me at least, like my risk tolerance, holy shit, I'm like, fuck, let's put all the chips in, and you're like, I can just drive around and just wash people's fucking dirty, panels and make a ton of money by saving them a bunch of money. Dude, it's genius. Why don't you do this?
You know what? I might have to buy the gear and, or not so much gear, but
fucking
get the trailer with the big old hose. Yeah.
No, you don't need a trailer. You just need a garden hose, some Dawn dish soap, and a fucking scrub brush, right? I mean, it's gonna take you forever, but
the backpack sprayer, pump it up.
Oh yeah,
that's really what it is.
Wait until it rains in California, which will never happen. But it's yeah, dude. I think you should start that. I think you should go out and do that in the next like 3 weeks. I think you could lock down. If you could find some data or some information that would tell you like, hey fuckers, like a clean panel produces this much energy, which will save you $300 a month on your PG&E bill, or $200 or $100 or whatever it is. But a dirty one, it's using less energy, and it's actually costing you more money. So if I show up, hey, Joe Blow's solar panel cleaning, dude, I think you could crush. I think you could knock out, especially if, I'm scared to get on a ladder. So I know you're not though. So I think it's a very viable business. I think you're right. Like you showing them like, hey, you save them some fucking money, we're good to go. Like where do I write the check? You know what I mean? Like if some guy told me like, at our storage facility, like the grass that we cut at your storage facility produces like more energy for your facility, I'd be like, fuck, how much does it cost? Like, you know what I mean? Like if you're going to save me money, like let's do it.
Yeah. So it's, that's the thing, if you can find something that's going to save people money on gas, and I'm sure people would be all open for that, invent some sort of, I don't know, gas cleaner that they could put in and get some extra miles to the gallon. Would be a good invention that people would probably want to use. Just all kinds of things we can come up with on the fly.
Dude, I don't know. I love bouncing like kind of crazy ideas and just figuring out like, oh shit, this is kind of cool. Like there's so many different ways that people can make money. And I know we're in a recession. I know everyone's fucking, but I think, it's not like we're going to stop spending money. I said it earlier. We're like, oh, I stopped spending money. That's not true. Like I'm still paying for shit that I paid for 6 months ago. It's just, I'm a little bit more conscious about it. And I'm not wasting money. Like if a kid walks up to my front door who clearly is fed well, who does not look like he's been living under a bridge, and goes, hey, can I mow your lawn? I'm like, I'm good. Like I can do it. It's going to take me 5 minutes and it's going to cost me, 6 nickels in gas instead of paying you $40. Cause I know, you little Gen Z or your X-Gen or whatever the hell you are. I'm not gonna be able to afford your minimum wage. Like I could if it, I'll pay you $6 an hour like I used to get paid, but it's now the old man is coming on to me. Have you ever noticed like 15, 20 years ago when you were driving around, probably had subwoofers in the back of your car, you pull up to a gas station and you just fucking leave your car running with your stereo blasting? I wanted to fucking hurt someone today. I heard that shit. Someone pulled in and I'm like, no one wants to listen to your shitty music. If you're gonna play good music, sure, but not this shitty new rap. Oh my god, drove me crazy.
So, more of the story is you turn an old man. That's what you're?
Yes, everything my dad used to bitch about, I'm fucking now bitching about, which is a whole nother topic. We could have a whole nother podcast. Maybe that's an idea for next week's podcast. How JC's becoming an old man and is barking at people. Dude, someone was lighting fireworks off last night. It was, on a fucking Tuesday, and I'm like, what is this motherfucker doing? Like, it's Tuesday. It's not a holiday. It's not a Friday. Like, what are we doing? Letting off firecrackers and fucking fountains and shit. I was like, it's 8:30 at night. got reading to do. I got a podcast to record, you know? So yes. Next week's podcast, yeah, look out. It's going to be JC bitching about young people doing fun things.
So what, and we were talking about a lot of business ideas. What is your take? Because I watch these videos of people want to be so secret with these $1 million ideas they have. What is your take on that? Share it with everyone, because at the end of the day, you can have the $1 million idea, but you got to execute on it, right? For it to be a great idea.
So my theory is this: when it's brand new, I tell fucking everyone. I let everyone, I'm doing this, this, and this. I got this going. But then as soon as I become a little successful at it, I'm like, I just shut the fuck up. Like everyone around me in my neighborhood, like they don't, like most of them don't know, like I'm into real estate. Like most of them, like, and people are always surprised, like, oh, what do you, like, you just sit at home every day? Like, what do you do? And I'm like, I own a bunch of real estate and we operate it, manage it, and we get paid. And it's just one of those things. So like, I think for me, at least, I probably should be a little bit more open. I would suggest everyone just not worry about it. Cause I think if you're competing in a niche that you have to be super worried that someone is going to fucking steal it from you and, take away your $1 million idea. I think your mindset is fucking wrong. I think you gotta adjust that and change that to have more of an abundant mindset. How about you?
Yeah,
what do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, that's definitely a scarcity mindset. And even even with people that have businesses that aren't that, like I said, that there are multiple people, but sometimes people still try and be secretive or whatever it is. But it's like, yeah, it is. It's definitely abundance mindset. There is plenty, no matter what business, your field or niche or whatever it is that you're in. I mean, there's plenty for everyone, so whenever you have that scarcity mindset, I feel like it's definitely a negative thing. It's not good, and it just brings negativity instead of, hey, there's enough for everyone. And you want to tell, if it's so good, if it's so great, if you're able to execute, you should have nothing to worry about.
Well, I mean, just looking at like history, I mean, the idiots who started Uber, I mean, the guys who started Airbnb, like if you would have walked up to me and said, hey, you're going to get in the back of a black SUV. And you're not going to know who's driving, and you're going to pay them to take you places. I'm like, you're fucking on crack. Like, you're super high. Oh, hey, you're going to buy a piece of real estate and other people are going to live in it for like 2 days, kind of like a hotel. I'd be like, you're high. Why would I do that? Like that. Why don't I just rent it out normal? And then now it's a fucking normal thing. I take Ubers fucking once a week, and I have an Airbnb business now. So I just think that, yes, I think the scarcity mindset has something to do with it. But I also think that if you hear a crazy idea, you might want to fucking open up and be like, oh shit, this might be a real thing. Cause you might miss. I mean, if you invested in Uber fucking 15 years ago, you'd be probably a billionaire.
Well, I mean, that's the fall of a lot of these great companies, right? Like, obviously, we know all the story with Blockbuster and Netflix. I mean, Toys R Us, Sears. Name these Toys R Us is I want to say they were business close to 100 years. If not, I know 50 plus years for sure. But right, I mean, these businesses that were around forever just failed to adapt or failed to, not want to keep up with the times or however you want to call it, and they lost to businesses that wanted to be innovative and do, like I said, do new things like that. Who would think of, hey, I'm going to rent out my house to complete strangers a couple times a week or a couple times a month and get paid for it, or vice versa. I'm going to stay in some random person's house. Why wouldn't I just stay in a hotel? So there it is. I think innovation and opening and being open to new ideas, and like you said, when you hear a new idea or crazy idea, it's like, hey, I mean, look at all these ideas before were at one time crazy or just to look, the past 20 years of what's been invented and tells us that when we get zoomed by Zoom, I think that's a good indicator that we have exhausted our podcast for the day. That our listeners, if they made it this long, we thank you for making it this long episode, because we even started over just to make sure we didn't get zoomed. And
oh no, yeah. We definitely hit the 40 minute mark, and I was like, I was gonna cut you off, but you were on a tangent. You were talking about Nokia phones, and like I think you even mentioned like the game Snake. We spent fucking 6 hours playing that stupid little game.
Oh my gosh, all the time in class.
Oh yeah, dude. Have you tried to text on like a regular, like an old school phone?
Not recently.
I had a flip phone for like my work phone when I was a cop. And so people would send me text messages and it would be fucking paragraphs. And I would send them back like one word answers because I could not. I was like, 333 675 634 and then I'd spelled like fucking gibberish. It's just you look back and like if I gave my son that phone and keep in mind he's 3, he wouldn't even know what to do with it. He's like, what are these buttons for? Like, where's your flashlight? Where's the camera? What? There's no YouTube on this damn thing. Like, what are we doing? It just, I don't know. It just cracks me up.
Oh yeah, I mean the amount of stuff that we have on, as simple as it is. I mean the calculator, right? A calculator on your phone that can do the stuff you need to do. Where just have to freaking carry on a goddamn calculator. Now you can have a calculator, a compass, a freaking. I don't know. There's so much apps and things you can download. It's just ridiculous.
My math teacher and English teacher, they're like, you're not going to have a calculator all the time. You're going to have to do this. Like, you have to write it all out. And I'm like, I don't think so. Like, I think technology is moving in a direction where we can fucking have it in our pocket. Like, I'll bring my calculator with me. And then all of a sudden, fucking, hey Siri, how do you spell dipshit? And she's going to tell you, like, it's just, I don't know. It's pretty unique what technology has done. It's probably made us dumber, but the useless information is no longer there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about dumber, but it definitely has made other, that part of schooling less relevant, right? I mean, because even looking at it, I mean, how much, unless you are something very specialized, I mean, how much calculus or geometry, there's so much stuff that we learned, in high school, even in college that you just don't use in the real world. It's one of those things that, which is a whole other topic, that the schooling system needs to be adjusted and certain things need to be taught and other things don't need to be taught. But we're just planning out our future episodes.
It's just filler. Like, schools are just fillers. Like, they're like, all right, we're going to teach you addition. Here, take out your iPhones, okay? 2 + 2 is 4, right? Is that what the computer said? Oh, it did. Okay, perfect. We're moving on. School was 6 minutes today. Have a great day. And parents would lose their fucking mind. Like, no, I need a break. I need 8 hours away from my kid every day or I'm going to murder them. And, it's the way it goes. Or we'd send them into sweatshops and then, work in the factories or something weird. But anyways, Nate, if everyone is listening to this right now, thank you. I really appreciate it. If you are so inclined, please subscribe, like, and also comment wherever you want to comment. If it's or review us. Apple Podcast loves to have 5-star reviews. So if we deserve one, please give it to us.
Yes. Couldn't say it better myself. Subscribe, like, comment, follow us on social media. Follow the show. Until next week, JC.
Dude, look out. I'm going to have 6 newsletter businesses started. You're going to be washing fucking solar panels. Oh shit. All right, man. Well, fuck. Let's catch up next week.
It's about drive. It's about power. We stay hungry. We devour. Put in the work. Put in the hours and take what's ours.